Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the wild world of Mother Nature's craziest temper tantrums. Buckle up, because this is going to be a hilarious ride. We're talking floods of sticky goo, exploding skies, and even a dance-off that got way out of control. So grab your snacks, settle in, and get ready to laugh at the top 5 craziest natural disasters ever. Alright, picture this. Boston 1919, a bustling city full of life and energy where the streets are always busy and the people are always on the move. The city is a hub of activity, with streetcars clanging, vendors shouting, and children playing. It's a place where anything can happen, and on this particular day, something truly extraordinary did. It's a beautiful day, birds are singing, people are strolling, and the sun is shining brightly. The air is filled with the sounds of laughter and conversation, and everything seems perfect. But little did they know, this day was about to take a turn for the bizarre. And bam! A giant tank filled with 2.3 million gallons of molasses decides to take an unscheduled vacation. This tank, towering over the city, was a familiar sight to the locals. It had stood there for years, a silent guardian of its sweet, sticky contents. But on this day, it had other plans. That's right, folks, a wave of sticky goo, taller than a giraffe and faster than a cheetah on roller skates, came crashing through the streets. Imagine a wall of molasses, moving with unstoppable force, engulfing everything in its path. It was a sight to behold, and one that the people of Boston would never forget. It was like Mother Nature woke up on the wrong side of the bed and said, "I'm out of hair gel, time to improvise." The molasses flowed like a river, turning the streets into a sticky, treacherous mess. People were caught off guard, scrambling to escape the oncoming deluge. Buildings crumbled, horses swam in syrup, and people were stuck like flies on well, you get the picture. The sheer force of the molasses was enough to knock down buildings and sweep away anything in its path. It was a disaster of epic proportions, and the city was left reeling in its wake. The cleanup? Forget about it. It took weeks to scrape all that molasses off, and they say Boston smelled like a bakery for months. The streets were coated in a thick layer of syrup, and the task of cleaning it up was monumental. Workers toiled day and night trying to restore some semblance of normalcy to the city. Hey, at least the ants were happy, right? The molasses flood may have been a disaster for the people of Boston, but for the ants, it was a feast. They swarmed the streets, taking advantage of the unexpected bounty. In the end, the Great Molasses Flood of 1919 became a strange and sticky chapter in the city's history, a reminder of the unpredictable power of Mother Nature. Next up, we're traveling to Siberia in 1908. Now imagine a Hollywood blockbuster, right? Explosions, fireballs, the works. But instead of Bruce Willis saving the day, it's Mother Nature showing off her pyrotechnic skills. Out of nowhere, a massive explosion ripped through the sky, flattening trees over 800 square miles. That's like the size of a small country. Scientists believe it was an asteroid, but I like to think it was Mother Nature practicing her dragon impression. The best part? No crater. It's like she said, boom! You looking for this? Nope. Cleaned up my mess. What's next? Chapter 3. The year without a summer Mother Nature's vacation mode. Okay gamers, you know that feeling when you're stuck on the loading screen for like an eternity? That's what 1816 felt like, thanks to Mother Nature hitting the pause button on summer. Picture this: volcanic eruptions, ash clouds blocking the sun, and temperatures plummeting. It was like the world got stuck in a never-ending rain level. Crops failed, people shivered in July, and Lord Byron wrote a super depressing poem. Talk about a mood killer, right? But hey, at least we got Frankenstein out of it. So thanks for that, Mother Nature. Chapter 4. The Dancing Plague of 1518. Mother Nature says, "Hold my drink." Alright, this next one is straight out of a fever dream. Imagine waking up one morning in the year 1518 in the charming city of Strasbourg, France. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and suddenly people around you start dancing uncontrollably. In 1518 in Strasbourg, France, people just started dancing. And they couldn't stop. It wasn't just a few people either, it was hundreds. Men, women, and even children were caught up in this bizarre phenomenon. It's like Mother Nature spiked the punch bowl with a little something extra. The dancing was so intense that people were collapsing from exhaustion, and some even reportedly danced themselves to death. Imagine hundreds of people busting a move for weeks on end in the streets, in their homes, even in their sleep. The city was in chaos, with no one able to explain what was happening. Talk about a rave gone wrong. The authorities were desperate to find a solution. They tried everything from banning music to organizing more dancing, hoping to exhaust the dancers. Doctors were baffled, musicians were hired to keep the beat going because why not? And priests were called in to perform exorcisms. Theories ranged from mass hysteria to ergot poisoning, a hallucinogenic mold found in bread, and the whole thing just sort of stopped after a few weeks. Just as mysteriously as it began, the dancing plague came to an end. People returned to their normal lives, but the memory of those strange weeks lingered on. No explanation, no cure, just a whole lot of sore feet and awkward questions. The dancing plague of 1518 remains one of history's most bizarre and unexplained events. Mother Nature, you sure know how to party. Whether it was a case of mass hysteria, a fungal infection, or something else entirely, one thing's for sure, the people of Strasbourg had a dance party for the ages. Chapter 5. The Great Emu War, Mother Nature's Prank Gone Wrong. Last but not least, we have the most epic battle of all time. Humans versus emus? Yes, you heard that right. This isn't some tall tale or a figment of someone's wild imagination. This is a real event that took place in the annals of history. That's right, in 1932, Australia decided to declare war on these giant, flightless birds. The country was facing a serious agricultural crisis, and the emus were at the heart of it. Why? Well, let's just say the emus were winning at the game of who gets to eat the crops. These birds, standing over 6 feet tall, were devouring the farmers' hard-earned produce, leaving devastation in their wake. It's like Mother Nature played a hilarious prank, replacing tanks with birds that can't even fly. Imagine the scene. Soldiers armed to the teeth, ready for battle, only to find their adversaries are a bunch of oversized birds. Armed with machine guns, the soldiers thought they had this in the bag. They were confident, perhaps even a bit cocky, thinking that a few rounds of ammunition would easily take care of the problem. But the emus? They were like, bring it on, featherless friends. These birds were not just any ordinary creatures, they were fast, agile, and surprisingly strategic in their movements. They dodged bullets, outsmarted traps, and basically ran circles around the army. It was as if they had a sixth sense, knowing exactly when and where to move to avoid capture. In the end, the emus won, proving that Mother Nature always has a few tricks up her sleeve. The soldiers, despite their best efforts and advanced weaponry, were no match for these cunning birds. Don't mess with the emus, man. They may look harmless, but they are a force to be reckoned with. This bizarre chapter in history serves as a reminder that sometimes nature has the last laugh. And there you have it, folks. The top 5 craziest natural disasters that prove Mother Nature has a wild sense of humor. From floods of sweetness to dance-offs for the ages, these events remind us that sometimes the universe just likes to have a little fun at our expense. But hey, at least we have a good story to tell, right? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more hilarious content. Stay safe and keep laughing.